your mind. Peace, folks. Once again, on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page, we are back with another hard-hitting double-header. Open your minds.
Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion. Three PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you with all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Huh? Why do you think you never pick up a paper until you read over and over and see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 40 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrong, then you lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Flagstaff Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Weston House. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power.
Santana, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your minds. And we are back. Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Um, Tonight, double header tonight. Cause right after this show, we throw down with a debate. Brother Fantastic will be squaring off with Brother TVA, and it might be a four-man debate, y'all. It might be a four-man. I gotta see what's going on, but stay tuned for that. But before we get started, as always, y'all know I like to start the show off, man. Thanking you good folks, man, for your likes, your shares, your views, your subscriptions, and of course, your hard earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because you don't have to do it. You don't have to watch these damn videos. You don't have to show up to these streams. You don't have to subscribe, like, or view. But you good folks choose to do so. You choose to do so. I don't take y'all lightly. I never have, and I never will. I want y'all to know, man, that I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support that the channel gets. My subscriber count has been quite up lately. And I know that's all because of you good folks out there and you good folks who hang out in here. I appreciate it all, man. I appreciate the views, the support, the likes, the shares, the emails I get from folks, and I definitely appreciate your hard-earned coins, man. And I just want y'all to know, man, that I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm appreciative, man. And I thank you, man. I thank all of y'all, man, for the way y'all support this channel, man, and ultimately support me. All right. But before we get started, while we wait for the brothers to pile in, y'all know I gotta hit y'all in the head with T.P.O.T's programming notes. Yeah, got a good lineup for y'all, man, for the next few days. Y'all already know that after this, we'll be throwing down with a possible four-man debate. Brother Fantastic will be here, and so will Brother TVA. And they'll be squaring off, and we'll be talking about, is Derek Chauvin guilty? Yeah. All right. That's right after this stream. So make sure you stay your black behinds here. Then tomorrow, it's the return of the Ask the Doc series. Lady Nicole will be here, and we'll be talking about coronavirus, vaccines, and the like. And she'll be taking your questions. All right. The Ask the Doc series has returned, and we'll be talking about COVID vaccines. And it's kind of ironic, y'all, because I actually got my shot, because y'all know I'm an old nigga. So I had to go get the shot. I got my shot Monday morning, and I feel fine. Right after the shot, of course, I had a little twinge of a headache that lasted for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. But after that, I went on about my day. So, I figured I would take it because, like I said, when I take it, I'm deciding for the both of us. I'm deciding for me and my wife. And, I'm out and about, man. I'm all over the place, man. I be in other states. I'm all over this damn state. I'm all over this city. And I interact with a lot of people, man. And I don't want to bring that back to my folks, to my grandbabies, that kind of shit. So, I had all of that to consider, y'all. And, like I told y'all before, my daughter, she was beating me in the head. Well, Dad, you need to take it. You're old. So there was that too. So, yeah, like I told y'all, if y'all didn't see me on Wednesday, that meant that the vaccine killed my ass Monday. But I'm alive, so it didn't kill me, y'all. I'm back. I am back. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man, because we're gonna end this show. I'm gonna tell y'all what we're gonna do. We're gonna end this show at like 10:30. We're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna go right into the debate right after. All right. Give everybody a chance to stretch their legs after this show, and then we're going to get right into the debate. All right. All right. See, my brother KIT is here. Brother KIT, what's good with it, man?
What's good, brother X? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I gotta ask you, man. I had emailed you, man. You might have to do double duty tonight, because right after this, we got a big debate. So I hope you can stick around.
Yeah, I
To
got you.
my man. Well, while we waiting for the rest of the brothers to come through, won't you just go ahead and give us, a little short synopsis of your military story, your military history?
Okay. Well, first off, let's see. I I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. I wasn't, you know, that that I don't know, great in education or whatever. I was like let me just say I was like a B or a C student, through high school. And so when I got out of high school, I really did not know what I wanted to do. And so uh, a friend of mine was like, "Hey man, I was looking at joining the army, you want to go check it out as well?" So me and him went and checked it out. We basically had the same recruiter, and they gave us background on what we'd be doing or whatever, if you join. And I thought about it, and then of course I told my parents about it, and it was like, nah, you don't need to be joining no no white man's army, you know what I'm saying? They kind
That's
of
the
was
white.
trying to
That's the white folks' army.
yeah, so they was trying to kind of talk me out of it or whatever. But um because where I grew up in Louisiana, and the biggest, I would say, industry down there is working in the oil fields. Or working and my dad actually, worked as a supervisor out at Exxon Mobil. And so I know I could have got a job out there, but I wanted to do something different, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So that's kind of what drove me to that direction to join the army. After talking to it and kind of finding out about it, and I mean, listening to the recruiter, I get to travel the world. You know what I'm saying? I had never really went out of Louisiana that much, other than, just family vacations, stuff like that or whatever. Going to Houston, Atlanta and all that good stuff. But I had never been anywhere by myself, and so I just went on and signed the paperwork and went. And then they one thing about it, and I don't know how deep you want me to go into it, but um we could probably get into that later. But like the process of them actually, you signing the paperwork and actually going through the process at the MEP station or whatever, when they trying to get you to sign the contract. And I guess what I'm saying is I can give some recommendations on that. I know other brothers got recommendations, because it's different for depending on where you go in at, the MEP station. But anyway, I joined, signed the contract. I went in as a 92 Alpha. I wasn't, you know, trying to go infantry like most guys, or like a lot of black guys don't really go infantry. Some people do, you know what I'm saying? BMT, shout out to BMT. But I wasn't interested in going out there kicking in doors and all that stuff. So I got in to logistics. And this was before I even knew anything about getting into IT. I didn't even know they had IT jobs in the military. And so that's why I kind of try to help promote that to young guys that are or interested in going to the military. They do have those types of positions, and when you go to the MEP stations, they'll try to talk you into what the army needs, but you kind of got to fight for what you want to get into. You know what I'm saying? If you know what your few see, and that was the thing. I didn't know. I just kind of um was going with the flow, and then I almost didn't get the 92 Alpha thing, because I ain't gonna lie, my ASVAB score wasn't high enough to get it. They signed a waiver for it, for me to get that because I was like in an ROTC program as well in high school. So that allowed me to get like E3 right off the back. Well, after I passed basic training, I would automatically start off at E3, which is a PFC, private first class. That's more money and everything. But so I guess what I'm trying to say about, well, I didn't kind of lost where I was at, man. But um oh, the jobs or whatever. So I went in as a 92 alpha. I almost didn't get that because my ASVAB score wasn't high enough. And because they was trying to sign me up to be like a truck driver or something. And I just kind of talked to them and was like, nah, that ain't what I want to do. And they, did a waiver or whatever and got me in that way. And I'm sorry I'm all over the place. I probably sound like a word salad because I'm trying to remember all this stuff too. But so anyway, I signed up and I joined the reserves. That's one thing I could bring in different, you know what I'm saying, to the conversation. I know a lot of guys I've talked to, they went active duty. I went straight reserves because I wanted to go back home. And I didn't want to um I didn't want to I don't know, I didn't want to I still didn't know what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to fully commit to active duty. And it was like, oh, you can, if you really want to do this or whatever, or go active duty, you can go active duty after you get in anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can do a transfer from reserve to active duty. So I joined the reserves, did my thing on the in the reserves or whatever. And just since they got people popping on, I'm gonna just finish out. I did 14 years or so, and and I served Afghanistan. Yeah, Afghanistan, and I went to Kuwait one time. But I also can bring to the conversation as well. I've done a lot of government contracting. I've done about 6-7 years government contracting, uh, working with the DoD. As far as the importance of a security clearance and all that good stuff, and the amount of money you can make. So that's, I guess, my intro, my background of what all I've done in the military. And actually, one last thing, the military, in my opinion, kind of changed my life or whatever, because I was, headed down some wrong paths, when I was after school or whatever. But by joining the military, I think it kind of saved me, So
Yeah, I've heard that from brothers. But we've been joined by brother Jay Sean, and brother New is in the house. What's
what's up,
good with it,
fella?
brothers?
What's going on?
What's good, brothers? What's good?
Brother
Shine.
Jay Sean, you are
Yes,
up
sir.
next, sir. What you got
Now
for
I
us,
let
man?
Brother New go next because I'm over here drinking some tea, trying to clear my throat. I want to
Oh,
sound
God
sexy just in
damn it.
case two ladies come by the stream. I want to be right. So,
Oh, okay.
let my brother New go real quick. Now, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm just fucking with you. I'll be right back.
Brother New, you got the floor,
What's going
man. What's
on?
good with it, man? Give us a little story
Um,
about your military history.
I joined the Navy in '94 out of Las Vegas, and I always knew I wanted to do mechanical work. So I went through boot camp, and then my ASVAB, I think it was high enough to get into an A school. That's going to be more of like, this is exactly what you're going to do when you get to the ship or your first duty station, whatever. But I chose to be what they call like independent. Instead of going to A school, I just went to mechanical school for about a month, and then I did that. And then so after that, you get a choice to go to was it like a 15-day vacation before your first duty station, or go straight to the duty station. And I chose to go straight to the duty station. So I got picked up by a division called M Division, basically, which is machinist mates. And back then I was on a steamship, so it's operating propellers, gears, the turbine gears, water treatment systems and all that. We worked right next to the boiler techs. So I did 6 years, and I got out in 2000. And then I went back to Cali because I'm originally from Cali. Went back to Cali, then moved back to Vegas. So after that, I've been a lineman for almost 12 years, union electrician for the last 9 years now.
Mhm.
So it
Well,
was one of the
let me
best gigs
ask
I had.
let me ask you brothers this, because I hear this, because I come from a military family too. I never served myself, but my two oldest brothers was in the military, two of my uncles, and two of my nephews went and served, and I still have a nephew in the he's in the Marines now. Um One thing is a constant from the military brothers is that they say that it changed their life. Um is that true for all of you? Is that true? Did the military change your life? Because I know brother KIT said it changed his life. What about you, brother New?
Oh, most definitely, man. I mean, I basically had a passport based off of Uncle Sam. You know, I did 2 West Packs. That's basically going on tours. You do 6-month tours. So you go to different countries. I've been all the way up through Asia, Africa. I wish I had went to Europe. I did 2 of those, so 2 tours. I always had discipline, but it made me pretty much more meticulous. I mean, even like the way you dress, the way you look at things. Um, I don't know if Army does it, but you know how you got to pull the t-shirt high, bring the shirt low. Like I still do that. Still make sure like belt is straight, bed like the way it's made, like you can bounce a quarter off of it. Um, Taking directions well, which I was pretty good at already, but giving directions, um, to anybody who's working underneath me. So I mean, all over experience, yes. I think it benefits
Bro-
anybody.
Brother Jay Sean, you back, man? Are you back?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. I'm back.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yes, man.
So go ahead, man, and give us a little bit of your military story, man. I know a little bit of it, but the
Yeah.
folks they probably don't know.
I mean, I've been in space for a while. I kind of told everybody about myself. I'm kind of open book. But my coming to the military was it was legacy meets just wanting to be a man and get out in the house. You know what I mean? I escaped New York twice. You know, before I get into that, I just want to say my grandfather was in the military. My grandfather's grandfather was in the military. I have one grandfather that served in World War One. I got another grandfather that served in the Korean War. And so, I have that, that legacy in my family. And of course, I got some great uncles that served as well, but I don't really know them too much. I just know about them. So I have a background in my family, so it was always there. And I spent a lot of time with my grandfather because I used to live with my grandmother and my grandfather whenever my mother didn't want to be a mother. You feel me? So me and my brother would get dropped off there, and I would sit with my grandfather while he chewed cigars, and he would tell me stories, and you know, and so it wasn't foreign to me, right? So to escape into New York, I dropped out of high school when I was 16. I didn't want to be in school anymore. I wanted to run the streets. My head wasn't right. And by law, 16, you can drop out. So I went to my guidance counselor and told him I wanted to get out. And she said, well, look, if you do that, just do me a favor, come back in like 2 weeks. All right. And just let me just talk to you in 2 weeks. If you meet me here in 2 weeks, I won't bother you again. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? I cannot remember this lady's name, but she actually saved my life because she introduced me to a program called Challenge Corps. Now, Challenge Corps was a paramilitary program that was upstate New York for challenge youth, but it was voluntary. It wasn't like it wasn't like a court order sending you up there. It was voluntary. Mostly parents signed their kids up for it, but I volunteered for it because it was right near where I used to go to camp when I was a kid, upstate New York, and I really wanted to get away from home. I wanted to get away from the house. I wanted to be on my own. And this started my journey of being on my own since I was 17. So right before my 17th birthday, I signed up, and it was the best decision I ever made. I went to this place in Camp Smith, Peekskill, New York, and I got introduced to the military. It was a National Guard post, and I met my cadre. Some of my cadre were active duty, some were reserve, some were retired, and they introduced me to military life, and so it wasn't foreign to me. But after I graduated from that, I came back to the city, and I was working, the docks for McDonald's, loading up McDonald's trucks, and I was also doing like, um, you know, um, uh, the Poconos. I was doing those, what's some things called timeshares. So I was hustling, but it wasn't working out, and I was still in my aunt's basement. I wasn't at home, pretty much on my own in a basement that floods, mice, roaches. So then I escaped from New York again, and I signed up. I called up one of my cadres and went up to Albany, Glen Falls, New York, and I hung out there for a while. And I came through that MEP station, not the Brooklyn MEP station. I came through the Albany MEP station. And the thing is, I scored so high on my ASVAB, I could pretty much do any job I wanted to do. But I had bad eyes because I wanted to be a helicopter pilot, but I couldn't see. I mean, I could see, but not, CC. So I ended up just taking, they offered me intelligence or IT. And I chose IT because I was always a tech geek. I like tech stuff. And I went into information systems, and the rest is history, man. In 96, I shipped out to Fort Jackson and got into the Army, did basic there, did AIT in Fort Gordon, had a lot of fun. Went to the computer science school in Fort Gordon, and got my career rolling, and I just want to piggyback to something Q-Techie said earlier. It's every job you can think of is in the military. Not now, some branches have more, some things than others, right? So if you really want to do some, some real technical stuff, you probably want to, go Air Force, they're good at educating their people. The Navy, they're really good at educating their people, but the Army has some stuff too. If you just want to fight and kill motherfuckers, you can go Marines. But there's pretty much every job, finance, accounting, administrative, cybersecurity now. I'm trying to think, like I said earlier, intelligence, you want to be an intel analyst, project management, there's every job you could think of is in the military. And you don't have to be in it 20 years. If you do your first enlistment and you don't like it, you can get out. But the good thing about it is that you get something called VA benefits. You get out on an honorable or general discharge. You have something that most individuals in the country do not have. You have the ability to leapfrog yourself. I don't care where you came from. You have the ability to leapfrog yourself into the middle class. How do you do that? You have a VA loan. You can buy a home. You also have VA benefits that can help you go to school. GI bills help you go to school. So these are things that can help put you into the middle class. You accompany that with a training in something you want to do. The sky's the limit. It gives you a good jump start, and it's not what people think it is. It's a job. Now, sure, when you get to basic and just standing attention, there's people yelling at you, But I'll tell you this: if that bothers you, then you got to think about life like this way. You either work hard early in life so you can have less people telling you what to do later in life, or you can play around early in life and have, and be one of these 40-year-old people with a 20-year-old boss. You know what I mean? That's the options you have. So getting a jump start on your life and choosing a career early is smart. And like I said, if you don't like it, you can always just get out and go on with your life, but you still have your benefits. That's something you did not have before you came in. Also, there's things called security clearances. And we can stay here all day to the benefits of going into the military. And I want to just touch on one last thing. And I want to know how New and the rest of the brothers feel about this. Keep It Techie says something about, and I hate this shit because this is the most ignorant, shit I hear all the time, that the Army and the military is the white man's army, or the military is not a place for a black man. And that's an ignorant comment. That's somebody that's dealing with plantation mentality. Okay. If you pay taxes in America, you're part of the empire. If you work for a Fortune 500 company, you're part of the empire. You help them make their money. They take their money. They give it to Republicans, Democrats. They run this evil empire. So, you're part of the state, whether you like it or not. So you either go all the way in or get all the way out. And the thing is, if this benefits to it, why wouldn't you put yourself in that in position? There's a bunch of white people in the military, poor white people getting in the military. Why are they doing it? They're doing it to get a better life, to get a better situation for themselves and their families. And you telling me, somebody telling you, excuse me, they have nothing for you, they have nothing to give you, telling you what you shouldn't and should not do. Well, look, everybody can't go in the military. It's not for everybody. So if that's not for you, cool. But if you're going to be in the nation, you might as well, participate or keep every option on the table, for yourself or your children. It's not a bad option. And like I said, there's not a lot of careers out there in your 20s that you can just get into that's going to leapfrog you into the middle class. So if somebody got a better, situation for you, go ahead. We need people to go to college. We need people to go to traditional routes. Everybody can't be in the military. We need people to work in society. So this is not for everybody anyway. But if you're considering, going into the military, or you don't know what you want to do in life, check into it. Look into it. See what kind of jobs they have. See what kind of career paths they have in the military. And like I said, education is also something to help you out with. And one more thing about that white man's army shit. I want to know, for all my street corner hotep niggas, you telling me that we're going to give the deadliest military to white boys only? That makes sense. Mm-hmm. The most deadliest arsenal on the fucking planet that the human race has ever seen. Just let the white boys have that. So now you got immigrants coming in the country. They're going into the military. There's people coming in the country who don't even have citizen status, and they're getting it through their service in the military. So people are taking advantage of this thing in the military, and they getting a home somewhere, and they buying land, and they buying property, and some cat on the corner or so on YouTube is telling you what you should and should not do. So what I would tell them is shut the fuck up unless they got a job for you. All right? Unless they got a career path for you. They can kiss your grits, like they used to say. It's stupid talk. It's the most ignorant shit I ever heard in my life, and all it is built on the stigma is that somehow you're part of the evil empire if you're going to the military. Well, guess what? We all are. We all pay taxes to these people. We all pay taxes to this government. All right. And if you don't work in the military, you work in a private corporation, you know what I mean? So you're still part of the game. You're still part of the political game. That's where they do all their money. Papa John's, Walmart, whoever you're working at, you work for the empire. All right, FedEx, I don't care who you are. All those CEOs and all the owners of those companies give money to the political game, and they get their political agendas addressed, whether it's domestically or foreign. So, my point is, get into government at any level, whether it's the police, fire department, state, local, or federal. You don't even have to go to military route. You can go federal service. You can go foreign service. There's a lot of things you can do, and you can be there, because if the more of us are in there, the more of us impact those organizations. And so I'll leave it at that. And pass it on to the next brother. But I just wanted to touch on a lot of different areas that Keep It Techie was touching on, and I'll see what else comes up on in this discussion.
Yeah, and let me say this right fast. I'm glad you said that. I 100% agree with you. That's an inner statement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from the South. That's some of the things that's said down there a lot in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I 100% agree with your statement you said, man. And I had to get out of that mindset at some point, because, well, when I was, younger or whatever, I had to get out of that mindset, because I kind of thought that as well, just by listening to other people. And that's why one of the reasons I'm the type of person that I listen to people, but I pick out what applies in my life. You know what I'm saying? That will apply to me to help me. So it's kind of like that statement I hear around here all the time. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah,
That's
well,
me and my
that's all I
daughter's
want to
favorite
say.
saving. And
Yeah,
can you check out? I'm gonna ask you a question before you sign over, before you check out, real quick. Kid, I'm gonna ask you a question.
what's
There's
up?
5 brothers on this panel that was in the military, right? I'm counting right now.
Hmm.
5. Are we alive?
Oh yeah,
Are we
yeah,
breathing? Are we thriving?
I'm
You
not
know,
on
100.
that's what I'm
remote.
saying. It's weird when I have these
Yeah,
conversations, man. Like, you're not talking to evidence.
Yeah.
yeah,
News out there chilling. You know what I mean? He got his trade. I mean, like, brothers is Perfect Black is doing his thing in life. BMT's. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, how do you look past the evidence? You know what I mean? Like, when these brothers come through the space and we talk military and just talk about our experiences or talk about the benefits of, you know, and we even talk about the downside of it, right? But the
hmm,
bottom line is that we're here.
Yep.
exactly.
So the
Yeah.
evidence is here, you know what I mean? And a lot of us, pretty much all of us, are homeowners. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you look past the evidence in your face?
Because these people are failures. Let's call it what it is, man. Any of these motherfuckers standing around on a fucking corner some fucking where, unemployed, living in grandma's attic, telling you how you shouldn't go into the military. Man, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. You,
And then
the
another
person
thing,
who's telling you that, they probably need to be joining their damn self. But go
Dog,
ahead.
yeah,
I
and
did
another
boot
thing
camp.
is a
Oh,
lot
go
of
ahead. Go ahead.
guys. Oh, I'm sorry. No,
No, go
I
ahead.
was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, and another reason we we don't see enough of these types of streams or these people put in front of your face. All the people that I heard about joining the military when I was like in high school or getting out of high school, right? When I got out of high school, they were gone. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing. I mean, you don't have no reference or nobody to talk to that can explain or be the example like we're trying to be right now on this panel. So I'm sorry to cut you off. Nu, go ahead, man. That's all.
No,
I just
no,
wanted to say that.
no. I was just basically going to say, when I came out here, I went to my first duty station for about a year. Right after that, I had a 45-day vacation. So I had some homies, man. I had my god brother and 2 of the other homies that we all used to kick it. Right. So, remember Silver State Disposal, right? Were you here, Techie?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I remember Silver State Disposal, right?
Nah.
Okay, so the trash company, right, out here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up here, just so you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, anyways, my god brother used to work for them, and he was a welder. That's all union. So I saw him making big bank. He's about 3 years younger than me. I come back on vacation, man, for 45 days. Them dudes still doing on the same shit, sitting on the couch watching TV, smoking weed. I done been here, there. My god brother making money, you know what I'm saying? And at a young age, and I'm talking about 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of dudes, man, they are too lazy. They say they can't, they don't have the discipline for it, but yet you'll go work a menial ass fucking Walmart job. You know what I'm saying? Like I always recommend it because I had that fucking mindset growing up, even coming out of black, the pro-black community in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that military, that's the white man's mindset type shit like that. Like I'm like, look, man, I'm me, like I'm new, and whatever the fuck I want, I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna go get it. So I went in, doing what I wanted to do. So it wasn't just a job, you know what I'm saying? But I always recommended that any man, once you hit 18, man, just do the minimum, at least, of the service contract. And then if you don't like it, then get out. If you do, stay in and retire. My homeboy retired at 41. You know what I'm saying? And he's out here. He's chilled for about 5 years, dog, and then he got into the union. Now, and we got 3 pensions in the union.
Hey, I got homeboys that got out, that retired at 38, 39. And then, I got out early, right? So I'm running into these brothers, and it's like the time flew by. They took that 20 like a shot of Hennessy, nigga. It's over. You know what I mean? And they moving on to their next career. They got a check coming to them for the rest of their life. And now they out here making 6 figures doing something else.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
No, you know what it is, man? I mean, depending on what depending on what service you go to, what branch you go to, man, you always gonna have a different experience. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Air Force is all technical shit. Navy's all technical shit. You living on a big ass city. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So when you transfer from military to civvy, You know what I'm saying? It's an easy transfer. You know what I'm saying? And especially like doing what I did, I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? But you got a big leg up. You know, hopefully you get lucky and get on a
And you
good
can do it
boat or
anywhere.
whatever. Everywhere. We talked
Yep,
about this
you can do your
Saturday.
job anywhere. Yeah, yeah. We was talking about
Yeah,
this the other night. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like you have a chance to do something instead of sitting around doing nothing, scratching your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Looking in the fridge all the goddamn time. But if whatever choice you make, man, just do it. But I wouldn't say it's a bad thing at all. I'm always gonna be Navy. I'm pro Navy, squid at heart. You know what I'm saying? Never gonna forget my time in the service. You know what I'm saying? Wish I had my head on my shoulders, more, but then also like I wouldn't be here if I was still in. You know what I'm saying? So it still changed my life, man. I'd recommend anybody going in. That's just me though.
All right. We've been joined by brother BMT, brother Perfect Black, and my brother Nick Taylor. I guess we'll go right in order. Brother Perfect Black, I believe you were next, my brother.
Hey, how's it going, brothers? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's good with it, brother Perfect Black?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had to drop down and come back up. I got a 2 week old here that me and my wife is nursing. So, so that and know how that goes. Yeah, I had to be a part of this one because I'm a 10-year Army vet. I went in 1994. Coming straight out of I went through the Kansas City MEPS. I know. I think Jay Sean was talking about one of them. But I didn't exactly hear which MEPS he went through. I went through the Kansas City MEPS because that was the
I
closest to
went to
me.
Albany. Albany.
Oh, okay.
Albany, New
Albany.
York. I'm sorry, because I know there's more Albany's out there. Albany, New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went through the Kansas City MEPS because at the time I was going to school in Wichita, Kansas. I was at Wichita State, and initially I went in as went for the National Guard, but after the right after basic, I went to basic in I went to basic in Fort Jackson myself, Jay Sean, but I went to AIT in Fort Lee, Virginia, and I did my jump school in
It's
Air.
Ratchetville, Petersburg. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, graduation night, we went to Virginia Beach, and that was a yeah, that's that's another
That's
conversation.
another panel. For the blackest God, boy. You're 2 weeks.
That
You
is
got your 2 week old, two week old next
a,
to you. Man, be good, man.
yeah, a lot of things went on that I don't want to repeat.
Yeah,
But
that's a whole nother live stream, y'all.
yeah, well, but that was some fun. And after that, as I went to jumping air assault in Benton, Georgia,
I'll be right back.
and man, that was fun. Jump school was one of the funnest things I ever did in my life. And after that, I went to. They cut my orders to go to Germany. Spent the first spent the first few years over there, and it was actually Germany was that was a whole different experience, man, and that was a real different experience. I loved it. I was in Frankfurt, and man, that was a deal. And I came back to the states. I will say, I'm not one of those type of guys that say that the black, the military is not a place for the black man. I will say this though, as because I do a lot of mentoring with guys, especially black men or black boys. I don't recommend all. I don't recommend. I do recommend some, but I don't recommend all. And the reason why I do is because if I get like a guy that's a kid that's really gifted academically, and they have a lot of options for academics, and they can go to a lot of different schools and whatnot. Because I've coached a couple guys that's going to Princeton, a few that's actually two that's going to Yale, two brothers are going to Yale. Those type of guys, I don't recommend against it, but my first thing with them, I'm always telling them to go and get their education, and bring that education back to the community. But there are some other harder cases, guys that uh, who've had discipline issues, behavior issues, that type of thing. And the reason why, for me, I kind of straddled the fence between the actors. I was always good in academics, but I was also raised in foster care, so I was a I was a behavior problem. So, and sports, and because I went to a Naval Academy high school, and that was actually a good deal for me because structure was always good for me. So, but once I got to Wichita, man, that was a different thing because I didn't know how to deal with the racism at that time. I just didn't know how to deal with the racism, and I lashed out a lot, and I wanted to fight everybody. Anything that was white and was red blooded, I wanted to fight. So, and knowing that now every pretty much my family, when it comes to the military, where I can trace my family in the military, go all the way back to the Civil War. So, uh, my family is been hardcore military, either with the Army or the Marines. I don't know if anyone serves in the Navy or any other, but I definitely the Army and Marines is been deep within my family. So, um, but for me, I know I
Hey,
need.
I want to catch some of that wave real quick, perfect. Mine's too. My roots, when I go back into my history, I put it like this real quick. Sloans and Freemans.
Hmm.
That's my lineage.
Hmm.
All right. So if anybody knows anything about African American history in the sense of slaves, if you know about Sloans and Freemans, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm ADOS for real. All right. So yeah, I got lineage going back to the Civil War as well.
Oh,
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even think of that.
yeah, I got lineage going all the way back to the Civil War. Pretty much every war that this nation has fought, um, I got relatives that's fought and died in it. So, and ironically, I didn't fight in any war. I was stateside for a lot of conflicts. They had me training a bunch of officers. So they had me training a whole bunch of officers. But yeah, for me, I needed the military. I needed the army because it actually centered me. Because I was really angry. I didn't know how to deal with a lot of things. I didn't know how to deal with the real world. Being in foster care, I didn't have a lot of guidance, so just really, I was pretty mostly self-made. So how to become a man or anything like that, I didn't have a lot of examples. So, and the one example that I did have, he passed away while I was or while I was overseas. So I didn't have a lot of that. So for me, the military actually helped me because, and I would say a lot of guys like myself who were at that age, I do recommend. There's been some guys I didn't recommend. I would tell them, I don't think military would be the best thing for you. I think you really should, now if they were like, if they had parents that really weren't, that aren't really uh, financially stable or anything like that, I would recommend that for them because even if they are academically gifted, if they have parents who really aren't really good parents, and if they're academically gifted, I will probably tell them, especially black, look, you might want to go to the military, get this education, go here, do this, and you probably want to, because I did really, really good on the ASVAB as well. Um, but I don't want to be. They actually offered me intel. I don't want to do intel. I was a unit armor, so I want to be with the weapons. I want to be, as they say, in the rear with the gear. So I didn't want to do too much of. I didn't want to do a lot of intelligence or anything like that. Um, IT at that time, it wasn't anything I was even thinking about. I'm in IT now, but I didn't get into IT uh, until I was out of the military. But I actually used military benefits to help pay for my CCNA. So that actually helped me. So in that way, that was the military was a very beneficial to me, and that's why I recommend it for, especially a lot of guys that got discipline problems or anything like that. I recommend it for them because it will help them become better men. From my experience, we're dealing with and mentoring here in the city, in Chicago. A lot of these boys that have discipline issues, they don't have men to center them, their behavior, anything like that. And when they go into the military, they get away from their mamas, they get away from their mothers, they get away from the feminine, too much feminine energy, and they get around more masculine energy. It really can teach them how to be men. So some boys, I don't think really the military is going to help, but a lot of us, a lot of boys, I think will help. So I'm not one of those types to say that well, the military is not for the black man. I'm not going to say, because to me it helped me, because I don't I can only imagine where I would be, if I didn't go to the army at that time, and because I can tell you, I probably would have murdered my track coach at Wichita State.
Yikes.
I probably would have murdered him because I was like that. I didn't know how to deal with
Allegedly.
race. I didn't know how to deal.
Allegedly, you would have.
Right, right.
Allegedly, you would
I didn't
have.
know how to deal. I was fresh out of St. Louis, and from the city, north side of St. Louis. I was fresh from that, and then going right to Wichita, Kansas. I didn't know how to deal with that. Like, what the fuck is all this shit? So, and the racism was a bit more blatant and right in front of your face than what I was used to, and I didn't know how to handle that. And I went to the army, and I think that was a really good decision that I did, because they got me out of the states, it got me out of my element. It challenged me in ways that I didn't think it would challenge me. Even though I was a track runner, I still was not in shape for basic training as it was. I thought that I was. I'm there right now. Just because you're an athlete don't mean you're gonna be in shape for basic training mentally and physically. And that it kind of took me. And I went to basic training in height of summer. So in Fort Jackson in South Carolina, that it gets hot. It gets extremely hot, and it was hot. So going on those 2, 3, and 10-mile road marches with a 10, 15-pound rucksack. That's not a fun thing. That's not a goddamn fun thing. Anybody's been
Shit.
to in South Carolina in the height of summer in Fort Jackson, that is not a fun goddamn thing at all. Going up and down the damn mountain. So,
Great
but yeah,
Lakes is like that.
when you say Great Lakes is like that, I never been to Great Lakes.
Illinois, man.
Yeah, I got lucky. It was wintertime when I went to Fort
Shit.
Jackson.
Summertime, dog. Humidity
Oh,
out the
you
ass.
got lucky, because I went in the height of summer,
Yeah.
and it was hot. And I got to be honest with you, I never
Southern.
saw. When I saw a black and yellow mosquito, I was like, "What the is that shit?" I saw a mosquito really big. I thought it was a spider. It was a mosquito. But yeah, man, that was the time, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish, if I can do it again, I would go through basic training, jump and airsoft school if I can do, just for the shits and giggles of it, because it was fun. That shit was fun, man. I have to say it was really fun, because it was eye opening. It really began to center me as a man, right? So, and if y'all hear the baby in the background, see, I gotta forgive me. So, but
Yeah, we'll try to keep it down for the little one. But we've been joined by Brother Fantastic, who is a current, because I know we got ex-military brothers up here. Brother Fantastic is currently in the military. What's good with it, Brother Fantastic? We're gonna go.
Fan.
Yo, what up, nigga?
We're gonna go to Brother BMT, then we'll go to Brother Nick, then we'll jump down to Brother Fantastic. Go ahead, BMT. Brother BMT.
Yeah, I'm right here. Put down something. Yeah, BMT, infantry, air assault, EOD, engagement team, 2 tours, all combat. I never got to sit down on my ass. And actually, I've been in places. I was there when Benghazi was burning, so that's the kind of hell I've been in. I've been in majority of firefights. I've been tracking through the Red Sea, sex trade, warlords. I did all the shit. Everything, play Call of Duty. That was my job. And I don't regret none of it. I mean, the dreams, they come with the paychecks. I am medically retired out. You get shot and stabbed enough times, after a while, you're like, I think I'm gonna go sit home now. I'm done. But that comes with the territory. Everybody's not built for it. Everybody's not built for it. You know, grandeur, the dreams and stuff. You know, my brothers and sisters, they went into the Navy. One was a sonar tech. The other one worked on a Triton. So I know for those in the Navy, they know what those are. I've already known those boats before. And I think my baby brother, he's taken over my squad. I think my last deployment, he was actually in country. So my first time in country, my mom was in country with me. She was a contractor for and a lot of people don't know contractors make more money than soldiers do. They make way more money than we do. But she worked for Force Protection.
Way more.
And for my brother, he started out. Now he's a sergeant. But now he went over and turned into a recruiter. So he's a liar now. So, but for the most part, I had a good time. And I see the world a lot differently. I see the world way more differently than how most people do. My views are different because of being that person that's on the other side of the trigger, and as well as you sit amongst members of the Taliban, the regimes, warlords. You walk through opium fields, you walk through the Silk Road, the travels, you see old empires fall and stuff, and you realize just how much of a babe you actually are in the grand scheme of things in the world. And, you know, I be trying to tell black men, you got to get your head out your ass. You know what I'm saying? You really do. Like, you don't know what real tyranny is. You don't really know what oppression is, or you don't really know what real subjugation is. I can show you some motherfucking places that they bring you out in a fucking burlap sack and beat you and then sit you down in the hot sun. I can show you some pretty crazy places where that shit still is like, that's law. And so, you know, as I learned the woes of the world, you know, I mean, and I've been to Fort Benning, you know, all that other stuff. Fuck Benning. It's a birth of the home of the infantry. I love it. I hate it. The military's not the same anymore. It's more different. Military's more political, more than ever. I was in a time where men were men and women could be women. Now it's
Right.
I don't know what the fuck y'all going. I don't know what the fuck y'all going through. My condolences to Fantastic. I wish you the best in there. I know it. Shit. God damn it. I met somebody I thought it was a fucking woman. It was actually a man, but you know, I don't know what the fuck going on anymore. I remember when I was getting out, I had my first sexually transitioning soldier coming in. It was like, it's time for me to put in my packet. It's time for me to go. Because I can't take you into combat, and I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen when you got 60 men in the barracks piled up on each other. It's a disaster. And I want you to understand, when you're out there in that sand pit, understand you're going to have to learn you got to learn how to get control of your fucking emotions. You got to learn how to get control of your bearings. You got to start self-disciplining. Yeah, they can beat it into you. And I've seen some men, they're like, well, you can't smoke a rock. I know some people know that term. Or, you know, you ain't going to tell me. Oh, they going to tell you. You can either learn the easy way, or they can throw your ass in the fucking brig. Or they can take you outside. As long as they got an IV, they can keep smoking you and smoking you and smoking you. After a while, you're going to break. Eventually, they're going to shark your ass. You know, I think they got rid of that. But the thing about it is, as I started to learn, as I started to eat and sweat blood, and tears and sweat, I don't regret nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's honestly, I can go work anywhere. I worked for different facilities, agencies, protection groups. I'm really big on firearms and guns and stuff. I did that when I got out. I'm actually part of 2 militias. I know me and X talked about some stuff. And the thing about it is, a lot of our people are sorely.
Yeah, I gotta come get my damn Desert Eagle ammo from you too, man.
You're lucky. I had to go buy another box, but somebody offered $80 for your box, so I got to another
shit.
box. You better listen. Y'all, see, y'all don't. Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. When men join the military from other groups, they have agendas of why they're joining. For the most part, white boys are told to join the military because their forefathers and their fathers and the fathers before them have joined, and so you're going to join. You're going to go do this regiment. You're going to get this done, so that way you can be the next official in this position. Bam. Because nobody's going to question that when they see a motherfucker with a DDR 214 show up and say, hey, this is what I damn, this is what I bring, this is what I can do. It's fucking gold. It is gold when you go into a bank. It's gold when you go into an office. It is gold when you go into a corporate boardroom. When you show that paper, hell, when you go into a political table and that person says, I am ex-military so-and-so, motherfuckers start looking at what that man's about to say. Because his insight is literally that of the system. So he's going to be talking differently and acting differently. That is something every man here knows. That's why they start going over, like, when you start getting certain paperwork, you start learning certain stuff, start getting certified. Like when we learn how to drive them gut trucks, drive MATVs, MRAPs, different stuff like that, them different PSI weighted vehicles, and Nick will tell you, those, when you come to the civilian world, when you come back, you can go to the DMV and get that transferred over to a CDO. Simple. It was just that simple. You can literally go do that. And you can go do different other stuff. Like, but as black men, I see a lot of brothers go in, they'll do their 6 years or 8 years if they do that, and say, I'm going to go to college and live out the rest of my life. We don't take full advantage as we should of everything. Like I talk to a lot of these brothers when they get out, they don't take advantage of their VA. They don't take advantage of their correspondence courses. Like, bro, don't just be happy with just getting a check. Take everything. Motherfuckers come from South America. Go ahead.
I want to get into that, but I also want to get to Brother Taylor and Brother Fantastic. We'll get into that. Brother Taylor, you got the floor, man. Go ahead. Brother Taylor.
Hey, what's going on, boss man? Brother X.
What's good with it, Brother Nick? What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, panel? Hey, man, they're the silent assassin. Keep it techie. Y'all better watch out. He get you.
I watch tech. He knows.
And all the other brothers, what's happening? So I mean, where do we start? Where do we start? Let me see. Third generation field artilleryman, grandfather, World War II, Battle of the Bulge, Bastogne, Belgium, the triple nickel field artillery, the all black field artillery regiment during World War II. That's my grandfather. He was in there. Uncle, Korean War. Father, 2 tours in Vietnam. And I have 3 tours myself. Got a 2 Bravo, Alpha 7, Foxtrot 7 ASIs, and a Papa SQI. So y'all know what that is. Y'all know what that is. Air Assault, Master Gunner, Pathfinder, and Airborne.
Respect.
Joined at 17. Made E5 3 days before my 21st birthday. Had to get a waiver to get promoted to E6. It was the youngest E6 in 7th Corps Artillery. Youngest staff sergeant they could remember. Made 7 and 10. Made 7 in 10 years and 10 months. Made E7.
That's good. That's saying something. And on that is saying something.
Yeah, so I knew I was on. But the thing is, people think, well, y'all know, especially once you make rank, it gets harder the more rank you get. It don't get easier. It gets harder.
Once you get that first rocker, you good. And once you get that first rocker, it gets real political real quick.
It turns into politics after a while.
And I make no bones about it. I'm hard, but I'm fair. If you know what I mean. I am hard, but I'm fair. I am fair. But here's the thing, like I always would tell other people, they trying to tell me what happened with this. I said, dude, being, and it ain't no diss to the service people, but that's in the service MOSs, because I say without them, we need y'all. You know, I need somebody to bring ammo out here. Somebody has to fix these 5 tons. Somebody got to fix the howitzer. Somebody got to cook the food. Somebody got to fix my radio. If you done been down range, and I know BMT have, let your commo go out. You couldn't pound a straw in your ass with a 5-pound sledgehammer. You need
Right.
need that commo, because without commo, you're not only are you deaf, you're blind. You're blind, but you're blind and deaf without communications. You are on your own.
5 minutes is a long time. Yep.
I'm telling you, man, you want to talk about nervous, especially if you already got an opening frago, you already got fragmentation order, and commo go down, you driving by the seat of your pants. And if you in a leadership position, you might get somebody you might get somebody killed. And then UCMJ comes in and saying, well, commo went down. That ain't gonna work. So responsibility is a big thing. One of the easiest jobs in the Army is being a PFC.
Yeah.
That's the easiest job in the world, because you ain't a mosquito wing, you ain't a slick collar. You know what I mean? You almost sham status. You know enough just to float along. E5 is pretty easy. E6, here it come. E7, here it come. So there it is, but the same thing. And y'all know how you have to go to I don't know if it's still called PLDC, because when it was 1983 when I went in, primary leadership development course, you had PLDC.
It was that when I was in too, the PODC, yeah.
Yeah, so because you need that before you
SEO, yeah.
Yeah, you need that before you can make E5. Yep. Then you had BNOC, basic non-com. I went to PLDC at Fort Polk. I went to BNOC when I was in Germany. That was in Hohenfels, Germany. And I went to ANOC, of course, at Fort Sill, because that's where, artillery is. And remember how when you go to school, when they send you, they always had a primary, a secondary, then a backup secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I went to ANOC as a backup secondary. How about that? The guy that was supposed to go, he had an family emergency. He had to go when the battalion got the slot. The backup, the secondary guy, he was nursing a broke wrist from something that happened while we was on battalion FTX, and that left me. Like, oh crap, I'm not ready for ANOC, but here I am. And that's where it was. But a lot of guys don't know. Now, I don't think I had to go. Because I'm from Detroit's West Side, Cooley High School, bad neighborhood, all that other stuff. But we had a very strong family structure, mom and dad in the same house, dad a vet and working for Chrysler. I'm old enough to remember, because Vietnam, they went winding down in 76. And when dad came back in 75, I still remember running up to him, like you see them videos and whatnot, how how the kids run up to their father and whatnot. That was me. I'm like, that man was gone. He back. I don't know where the hell he been, but shoot, you know what I'm saying? But here he is. And man, I was happy to see him. But but I'm that line. And when me and my uncles and my dad and granddaddy would sit there and we talk, I'm like, man, it didn't all soak in like it has now. As now I'm an older guy and they're all gone. Like, wow, man. And then when people get, y'all slave, this, that, and other, they don't give a F. I said, look, man, y'all don't understand. Is there bad stuff inside and outside? Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm the chief of firing battery. It could be an all-white platoon. You gonna do what the F I tell you to do. Because this the Army and I got more stripes than you. Chief of Fire and Battery. It means just that. Chief of Fire and Battery. Are you a member of the Fire and Battery? Yes. Then I'm your boss until further notice. It really is just that simple. But ain't nobody play that. The only place I see that shit is outside. But like you were saying, BMT, I say the same thing for fantastic, bruh. You got my undying. There's no, I would not make it in today's army. I ain't no need of me kidding myself. I ain't no need. I know you Navy, but still, I ain't no need of me kidding myself. Stress cards and you get to do this and government paying for sex change. What the hell is this? Look, man, combat forces, we're not a social experiment. Our job is to go to other people's country, kick they dough in and break they shit. People can get mad. That's effed up. This, that, and other. I don't care. Put your thumb in your mouth and suck on it. At the end of the day, our job is to go to your place and break your shit. That's our job. So people on the outside that take issue with it, dude, take issue with it, but take it up over there. I don't want to hear it. You free to say whatever you want. Just go over there. Because I'm not going to come to your face telling you what I think unless you ask me. But the way they doing things now, this great, because I've been to the land of the sand. I've been to Bahrain. I've been to Belgium. Been to Germany. Been to Korea. Been, I done been shit, man. I was in damn Honduras and shit for 6 months. But now you want to talk about a jacked up place? Honduras is jacked up. And I'll leave it at that. But, bruh, I salute to all of y'all. Like I say, man, I don't tell people, look, everybody don't need to be combat arms because somebody gotta run the show. Y'all just point the shit out. Y'all get the thing straight. Oh, and then on top of that, BMT, and I'll shut up. BMT know this. Everybody think that you don't need to be a thinker to be combat arms. They watch too much TV until man, land navigation, range estimation, wind shear, T.O.T. That's time to target, T.P.T, T.O.T. Yeah, man, shit, they have no freaking slide talking about you want to break shit.
You got to do that mathematics on the fly.
Yeah, I mean,
right
I hand you a map and a compass and say, now find out where you are first so you can shoot a 10-digit grid coordinates to this place over here and plot to this, that, and other. Know where you at geographically on the Earth's rotation, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Is it the winter or the summer solstice? And then magnetic north, the true north, subtract your 3 degrees and all this other, and the average month. If you suck at math, in
the base, stay on the base.
Yeah. If you suck at math, artillery and infantry is not for you. If you suck at math, so we're nerds with guns. That's pretty much what artillerymen and infantrymen are. We're nerds with guns that jump out of airplanes. You know what I mean? So, but that's
let me go.
It.
Let me go to Brother Fantastic. What's good, Brother Fantastic? And also, right after this, Brother Fantastic is squaring off in the digital squared circle. Right after this, military stream. But go ahead, Brother Fantastic. You got it.
Yeah, shout out, X. Shout out to Nick in the building, man. Shout out to we got Techie up here. We got BMT. We got New. Let me see who they up in the corner. That's
Jay Shine.
That's Jay Shine. There we go. And then Perfect Blackness, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody that
that's JMF and Shine. Get it right or pay the price.
Get it right. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man.
You got it, Sarge. You got it.
That helped pave the way for me. Y'all did the smart thing. Y'all got up out of this thing a little bit earlier, whatnot, what have you. I think a lot of y'all. But yeah, man. It's definitely a different lifestyle that I think a lot of brothers should take advantage of, especially now knowing the things we know. Shout out to Jay Sean. Jay Sean reached out to me personally and gave me a lot of information and things that are available to you as a former service member, whatnot, what have you. So any brothers out there, I say, man, those 4 years can change your whole life, bro. You don't gotta retire no more, man. It's a lot of brothers out here that's done this thing before you and pretty much did all the work for you so that you can do your little bit of time, your 4 years, get your post 9/11 GI Bill. They pay you to go to school. That's if and when you don't, you can still be going to school for free while you're in the time that you're in. Your VA loan, veterans preference, if you get a disability or rating or whatnot, what have you, that helps you in a lot of different things. A lot of these businesses out here have incentives for hiring veterans, not to mention security clearances and things like that. It's going to throw an extra amount of money on the top of your civilian job or whatnot, what have you. Plus, you have a lot of journeyman programs or whatnot. So yeah, man, it's just so many opportunities in the military, and yeah, man, that you're going to experience some type of adversity. Some of it may be racial, but in the 17 years that I've been doing this, I hit 18 in July. It hasn't been that much, man. But that's I promise you're gonna see the same thing in the civilian sector with a whole lot less of
I was just about to
benefits.
say that when you get out, bruh, I was a Army soldier, fantastic Army contractor and an Army civilian. So I wore all three hats for the Army, and it's the same bullshit.
Yeah. So yeah, man. It's just a lot of opportunities out there, man. So I know due to black people's place in the country and a lot of people's look on war, whatnot, what have you, in the military. Listen, man, it's McDonald's is killing way more people than the United States military ever has. And that's not even a joke.
Facts.
So it's a lot of things you can learn from the situation, experience. And shout out to all the infantry brothers, man, all the actual combat veterans. Hey, man, that's another level. And I don't think, I know for a fact you guys don't get the credit and the love you deserve for the ultimate sacrifice and the risk you take for this country. Everybody talks about all these different things and whatnot, what have you, but do you want to be on the other side? You talk about, oh, you guys y'all bombing, y'all killing dark people. Okay, so you want to live over there? What you want to do? You want to live over there where they at? No, of course not. So come on, stop it, man. We know, stop the cap, as the young kids say. But yeah, man, X, this is a great thing you did, man. Take time out of your day, busy schedule, show some love to the veterans. And again, man, anybody that's considering it, shout out to Benjamin D'Souza, man. Benjamin D'Souza just recently joined the Army, man. So make sure y'all shout him out, show him some love. But anybody that's considering, man, all these guys that's up here, bro, plethora of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, reach out to us.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like I
Reach
said,
out to us, yeah.
and like these are definitely some stand-up guys, man. These dudes are obviously like the unrecognized geniuses in this thing. Shout out to New, man. New don't say much. New usually hang out in the chat, man. But like I said, especially the aspect of shout out to New, bro. New, one of my A1 day ones, bro. And it's just so much stuff. And like you said, this brotherhood we need to be building is here. And military dudes, bro, we can definitely give you guys a lot of information and help in a lot of sectors, because again, man, we talk about those trade skills. You get those trade skills in the military, man, and those things are worth their weight in gold. Plus that security clearance when you get out, there's pretty much automatic money, and you pretty much punch your own ticket after the fact. So again, X-Man, greatly appreciate you for having me on, brother. Shout out to all the brothers out here, man, that like I said, took that time out of your life. Family life is crazy, stress levels is crazy. You become immune to Motrin and Advil. That shit don't do nothing for you no more. That's the cure for everything. That good old vitamin M. So yeah, man, crappy food, tight living quarters, no power, all kinds of crazy stuff,
And
man.
they said y'all get good food in the Navy. That's what I was told.
Hey, off that ship, when that, long as them unreps is good.
When you go out,
hey, the submariners supposed to get the better chow?
I think submarines is totally different, but my big ass ain't doing nothing. I ain't never even toured a submarine. I can't do nothing with it. But yeah, X, appreciate you, man. For having me. Shout out to all the brothers on here. I'm gonna pull right back up on you.
My brother was on the USS Nebraska, the USS Alexander.
Remember tonight, right after this stream, Brother Fantastic is throwing down with Brother TVA. So remember that, y'all. Go ahead. You got it. Who's talking?
No, I think the thing about it is because every all branches we all intersect with each other. We have joint task force bases, so it's interesting because like I started seeing Navy people out there on routes with us, like setting up Blue Force tracker grids, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are y'all doing out here? They said, well, once we set up this tracker grid, we can fire for effect all the way from the battleship. Mind you, this battleship is all the way out there in the Atlantic. So you got to imagine, like when we're targeting or doing certain stuff, they just make sure like, hey, we get them to certain destinations. Or like I worked with so many different branches of stuff that goes on, and like we're miles ahead, on a lot of stuff. So, and it's you the one biggest thing that I always tell people is ask questions. Ask the question. If you're by a scout, get on your knee and say, hey, show me how to read this map. If you're by a guy who works on an engine, start telling. You never know when that skill is going to come in handy. And that's been a crippling thing, X, for a lot of black men. Some of them like sitting in the background, right? And just floating by, hoping that waiting for their promotion, versus the ones who don't mind saying, I ain't telling you to be a yes man, but damn it, if listen, I had no problem jumping in the truck saying, yo, I want to learn how to drive this truck. I want to learn how to fire this 249. I want to learn how to fire this Modus. Like after a while, they said, damn, this kid want to do all this shit and jump out of planes, and all this stuff. Promotions and stuff just started coming because the more shit you had under your belt, the more valuable that they wanted you, the more stuff that they wanted you for, because you're stacking up all the credentials under your belt. Like that's the guy that they want. That's something that a lot of us people tell you to shut up, float by. Nah, get everything, because when you're out, the military don't know you no more. Once you get out the service, you go ghost.
That's
So
unless they
Let
owe
me-
you some, unless you owe them some equipment.
Oh yeah, they'll find you if you owe them some money. They'll find you for that. They
Yeah,
Let
I
me-
know. I'm joking, man.
let me
But go
let
ahead.
me ask you, brothers, because all of y'all are ex-military. Do you feel that, or should I say, do you think that the fact that you brothers are, y'all are veterans, right? All of you are veterans. Do you feel like you get more or less respect from Black society in a whole because you are a veteran? From the people that are in your circle of influence. I'm not talking about, motherfuckers up here because this
Oh,
ain't
can I
this ain't
speak
the
to that?
real world.
Can I
Yeah,
speak
go
to
ahead.
that real quick?
Go ahead.
I'll
Everybody.
say it's a mixed bag. Some older people might give you respect, you know what I mean? But a lot of regular, we talking about black people, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We talk about the niggers. Okay, so
Yep.
no niggas. Look, a lot of black people, for whatever reason, and this might be a little controversial. What I'm about to say, but a lot of black people, emotionally and mentally, have detached themselves from America, and we know why. We know why. We have a hard time really embracing, the flag and military service and police service, all kinds of services, because of how we feel like we're being treated in the country. You know what I mean? So, there's an attachment. So that also pans over into how you're received. It's not like you get a parade when you come home. Some people are proud of you, and some people are like, "Hey, so what?" And then you got some of those people like, "Hey, man, you shouldn't be in that shit." You know what I'm saying? So it's a mixed bag. You know what I mean? Overall, but I think we're gonna have to grow up as a community, because I deal with reality. And the reality is, like I said earlier in this live stream, you paying taxes, you part of the empire. You know what I mean? You part of the empire. I don't want to hear you choose this one profession to ill out on. You know what I mean? You choose this one profession to say, oh, y'all the sellouts. No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I say it again, just for y'all back in the cheap seats, or who went here earlier. If y'all ass work at Walmart or some Fortune 500 company, the people who own that company take your money that you help them, take the money that you help them make, right? And they give it to the political system to get concessions and get, things they want done in the world, or domestically, or, you know what I mean? And that's how the machine works. So you're not apart from this. You know what I mean? So if there's an opportunity out there for you to travel, get you an education, get you some VA benefits that can launch you into the middle class. Why would you say, not only I'm gonna leave the deadliest military to these white folks only, why would you leave all the benefits to them too? You see what I'm saying? You know, when I look at the military, I see a bunch of white people coming up. I see white couples, you know, white officers, female, male, coming together, making all that money, and they buying property, and they bringing it, they bringing their lineage, you know, their family up. And we should be doing the same thing. Whatever's out there for us to do in America, we should be doing. And that should include the military. If you just want to go straight to school, fine, do that. But you also can go to school in the military too. You know what I mean? And I want to say this one last thing, because I know BMT got something to say. BMT touched on that the infantry part. A lot of people look at the military and they think it's all war. The people who actually do the fighting in the military is actually a small percentage of the military. Most of us in the military are in the rear, or we do support jobs. You know what I mean? We might be close to the action, but most of us in the rear are nowhere near the front lines. Most of us are in the country, you know, and even when we are abroad, we're in office buildings, we're doing certain other types of work, you know, to support the war fighters. You know what I mean? That's what we call them, the war fighters. You know, so the frontline people is not the majority of people in the army. So again, there's a lot. Every job you can think of that's in the private sector is actually in the military too. All right, everything. The military is its own entity. They don't outsource their administrative work. Now they do hire contractors and people on site, you know, but that's a good thing, because those are careers and jobs you can slide into when it's time for you to get out. The military is not your thing. Guess what? You've been working with some contractors, civilians. You got some people you can slide into something else when you get out the military. You know, it's a good look, I think, for those who can handle it. Some people don't like being told what to do. But like I said earlier, you're gonna be told what to do when you're 20, or so you're gonna have somebody younger than you telling you what to do when you're 40. All right, so get it together.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, man. I'm glad you brought that up. Because I was gonna touch on the whole contracting piece as well, but like just to talk about it, my first deployment was to Kuwait, and I was sitting in a building, you know, air conditioned building, and we were tracking $1 million worth of equipment that was in Iraq at the time, because this was during the Iraq War. And so they had contractors sitting right next to me, you know, making 3-4 times the amount of money I was making as an E5 at the time. And yeah, I took advantage. I talked to them guys and hopped on over there. You know, after I learned about actually contracting or getting into those types of positions. So it's plenty of opportunity once you get in there, and you may not have seen that unless you did join the military. You know what I'm saying? A lot of civilians don't know about that type of work. You know, unless you're around some people that are in the military, or if you've grown up in the military, you know, household or something like that, you know, you wouldn't know about that. But
Hey, I just want to say peace real quick. I got to drop off, X. I got to get off here for a second,
I
man.
appreciate
So peace to
you coming
peace,
through, man.
brothers. I didn't
My
want to just
brother.
drop off, be rude, but peace to y'all, man, and thank you for your service, everybody.
Peace, Jay
Yeah,
Sean.
man.
Same
Same
Brother Jay Sean, hit me up, brother. Well, we've been joined by Doc Phoenix. I completely forgot, Doc, that you are ex-military too. It's hard to keep track of all you ex-military dudes, man. Too many of y'all, man. I knew I was forgetting some people too. I was like, damn, who else? But what's good, man? What you got for us, Doc Phoenix?
Good evening. Good evening to everyone on the panel.
Doc Phoenix, what's up, man?
What's going on, Keep It Tacky? No, I'll make it pretty quick. I think I don't think there's nothing more I can add to the overall experience other than maybe just my own personal experience. You know, I was a medic. I was a medic. Went to Iraq. Actually was pretty young when I went to Iraq, and I actually was put in charge of medical support for a personal security detachment or EOD. So I would go out on, I would regularly pretty much went all over Iraq looking for WMDs and all that with them. And so I was put in charge at like 19 years old of medical support for about 30 guys. And so, when you're 19, you kind of get put in a position like that, you grow up pretty quickly. And so for me, that experience, I've been able to parlay that into a number of things. In fact, when I went to basic training, I went to basic training when it was still all male basic trainings, and so I don't think it's like that anymore. But when I went, it was, and so the interesting thing is that one of my mentors that wrote one of my letters of recommendation for medical school was actually a retired uh, Air Force pilot, and he was also a family practice doc. and and one of the things he always talked to me about was, hey, maybe you should join the reserves since you're already prior service and you're going to medical school and all that. And it was kind of one of those things I just I don't know. I kind of did my 5 years, got out. It was kind of cool. It was fun. But I do have friends who they themselves are officers and they are PAs and stuff like that. And so they made a career out of being in the military. So, but I think one of probably the saddest parts, I think, in my adult life that whenever I meet veterans, especially a lot of brothers that are veterans, is that most of them, I think a few of the brothers talked about it earlier, most of them tend to not use their VA benefits. They tend to not utilize none of those benefits in general, period, when they were in or after service. And so if this was about like 10 years ago, if you didn't use your GI Bill, it expired after a 10-year period. And so that obviously that changed with the post 9/11 GI Bill and the update they did to it back during the Obama administration. But initially, guys would just get out, not not use their benefits and completely lose it. So when they decide they did want to do something, they had no benefits left. But there are other ways to go to school and get the VA to pay for it other than the GI Bill. You can do voc rehab or some other stuff like that. But the point is that even when I interviewed for medical school, it was one of those things where the doctors that were talking with me, they were veterans themselves. And I don't think a lot of folks understand or know this, but if you look at about 25 to 30% of all your scientists, physicians, medical personnel in this country, most of them were prior service. They were in the military or they're active duty military. And many of the major research institutions you see in this country generally are staffed by individuals who themselves were in the military as well. So I've been able to get 2 bachelor's degrees and a medical degree on it. So I think it's just one of these things where, yeah, it really does come down to how well brothers utilize their time in service and what they do after it. Probably more importantly, what they do after the service. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, we got a debate coming up, fella. I hate to end this shit, man. I got to do another one of these because I want all of y'all to come back. I want to do another one of these. But what I want to do before everybody go, I know, brother KIT, you're gonna stick around because you are the T.P.O.T official timekeeper. I want everybody to go ahead, give a final thought before we get ready to get up out of here because I got a show right after this, y'all. So go ahead, give your parting shots, and then we're gonna peel on up out of here. This was good though. This was good shit. So whoever want to go can go.
Hey, T.P.O.T, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. New.
Okay, because I didn't hook up my Ethernet cable, so my Wi-Fi kept going in and out. No,
yeah,
I just
clear.
want to say, man, like I said, I'm a dude who recommends like all dudes go to the service. Of course, I support the Navy because I'm a squid, but just get out and fucking do something, man. You're gonna work for somebody, no matter what. So the whole white man Navy shit, all that, or military shit is a bunch of bullshit to me. It's an excuse. If you want to stay out and just do, have your own business, that's cool too. But I think that your life can somewhat get jump started by going into the military, especially if you have a good. In the Navy, we call it a rate. I forgot what everybody else is called, but like I said, it's a big city. So if you have a good rate, man, you can just transfer, to the civilian world fairly easy, and you can do a lot of shit. I mean, that goes for a lot of other, branches in the military. But I if you get a chance to travel and do all that, man, it's on Uncle Sam's dime. So fuck it, why not just take it? just do something.
Yeah, and you're
That's
right.
about
And
all I
we
have.
look out for each other out here.
Yeah, I'm
At,
still part
at
of
jobs
the
and job
service
places.
groups,
Yeah,
like
we
on
look out, man. I
Facebook.
look out for servicemen.
Yeah, got a lot of brothers, man. Like all that, like not getting respect from the family. My dad's side was mostly Army. My mom's side was mostly Navy. I heard better stories from the Navy. So, and plus, I always seen shit like I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go to war. I want to fix shit. I want to do this and do that. I was in an engine room for 6 years, man. I never had shore duty. You know what I'm saying? So that right there made it tough. Being out to sea for 45 days straight while we go somewhere, crossing the equator, you know what I'm saying? Getting all the haze and doing this and doing that. And yes, I've experienced overt and covert racism, but you're a black man in America. When are you not? You know what I'm saying? You just go, you take it and keep it pushing. That's all you can do. But with that, T.P.O.T, I gotta bounce, man, because my Wi-Fi keep fucking up on me. So,
All right, brother
I'm
New,
out,
man. I
man.
appreciate you
Appreciate it.
coming on, man. Good to have you on, man. You've been
Yes, sir.
supporting this channel for a long time. You need to come back up here, brother.
I
You're
definitely will,
welcome
man.
up here.
Definitely will.
Welcome up here, brother. Appreciate the
Appreciate y'all, man.
contribution, man, and
All
I
right.
appreciate the service
Yes,
as
sir.
well.
All right.
Peace to you, bro.
Peace
Peace.
out.
So I'll say this real quick. If you ain't listen, man, you need good health insurance, join the military. I don't know anything that can really compete with TRICARE. I got men up here, they'll tell you right now, TRICARE. Listen, I never touched a medical bill unless paying like a little bit, like $5 or $10 for a prescription, if that. If you need access to certain jobs, that military clearance is like fucking, it's like the cheat code. I don't know why it's so hard. Black men you're making things hard for yourself. Like, some other countries, they require you. You're not required. You know what I'm saying? You have it pretty good. Um, the training, like the specialties, the specs. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I never do I ever tell y'all, or Nick has ever told y'all, go be a bang bang, a shooter. Shit, we don't want y'all to have the nightmares or the shit that we did World War. I'm too emotionally detached from shit these days, so I'm fucked regardless. But however, y'all worried about the white man out here versus, listen, the white man's afraid to say shit to you in there because they know that could be the end of a 16-year life that
Yep.
they worked hard for. So
Yep.
actually, you're actually safer when you're in there because literally it's called EOC.
Yep.
So you're actually more safer. And I commanded over whites, Latins, all kinds of men, and I guess shout out to two Fets. I guess she was okay. They're okay. But other than that, listen, whatever I say, I'm law. I was God at that time. And I made the call and I have to live with those calls. And so, if you need certain advantages to school, brothers, y'all need, when y'all get out, it is a brotherhood. Whenever we see, whenever Techie, I, or any military man, y'all notice a lot of us military consecrators, we don't beef with each other. No matter if we disagree, y'all have never seen us beef with each other because the brotherhood code is so strong.
Yep.
Now that is facts, BMT.
Yep.
That is facts.
Yeah, that's true.
You notice that you never see us military, us ex-militaries, us vets, us whoever. Once we find your military, oh, you're in. You're part of the cloth. You're part of the code. We handle that behind closed doors, not with nobody else, but with us. That's the code of the law. When it comes to a job and somebody knows you're a serviceman, oh, like Nick said, oh, come here. Come here. I'm not going to just give it to you, but I'm going to talk to you and see where we can fit you in and get you ready or see where you're at mentally and
Yep.
psychologically. So there's the hidden world that we work with. And like I said, like there's so many things. Welcome Benjamin, welcome other brothers. If you're looking at going, so I just sent my two girls to Jackson. Like I told them, they were like, why? I said, what the fuck you got to lose? You ain't doing shit out here in the civilian world. Might as well go. Go there, get a medic, go become EMS or whatever you want to go do and make the best of it. Oh, hell, just go do your 20. Shit, you're safer there than I am out here. I got to worry about civilians. Civilians are unpredictable. Military, shit, we get told when to get up, we get told when to eat, shit, and sleep. That's our life. and it's an easy fucking life. Just people don't want to follow directions. That's when they make it hard. Other than that, I support all my brothers, and also we know we have some military sisters that are also on YouTube. I support and I respect y'all. Thank y'all for protecting me and my family. I love y'all. Thank you, X, for allowing us to be on your panel. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We got to do another one of these, man, because I hate to end it. And we done been joined by my Chi-Town brother, AJ. You came late, man. We about to shut this shit down. I got a debate coming up. I'm already about 10 minutes past time.
Go push, AJ. Go push. Go push, AJ.
Yeah, we doing closing statements now, but I do want to get brother AJ in here. So
well, I'll make mine quick. Can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. You good?
Well, let me first say this once again. Yeah, like BMT said, man, I also want to give thanks to all you guys on the panels, everybody who served in who did their service that's from past to now. It's mad respect to you brothers and sisters. That's that's paving the way for other people. That's sitting there to protect us like you protect me. I could be quick with this, brother X, man. And once again, shout out to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. But me, I just basically wanted to come up and just say, hey, here was a guy coming from Chicago in 2000. 2000. I was 21. I was starting to get into that street life. I don't know people if y'all know about around that time. The rap with Do or Die, Twist, all that started to kind of pick up, right? But still, it was a lot of violence going on because prior to me joining the Navy, actually, I started selling drugs. So it was a decision that was made, not by towards with me going to jail. Actually, it was by my father. He said, probably it's two things that's going to happen to you. He said, you keep being out there in the streets. And he didn't say like, hey, if what's going to happen, but he was like, you could be out there in the streets, or you could turn around, you could make something of yourself. And then I kept thinking to myself, like, okay, because I was already kind of angry because with my parents, they didn't have money for me to go to college. But then I started doing my research, and I'm seeing like, oh wait, the military, I could get a GI Bill that will pay for my school, or I could sit back and turn around, still be out here in these streets, and then they could pay for my casket for my funeral. So I say, you know what? I'd rather try to do this on my own. And plus, I was 21. So I decided, okay, the first thing I wanted to do was go to the Air Force. That was the first thing. But I still had that street concept in me. I was still smoking weed. I didn't pass the drug test. So I remember because I scored kind of good on my ASVAT, the recruiter, Air Force recruiter gave me to a Navy guy. And this Navy guy was like, okay. So he tried everything in his power, all type of stuff he gave me, right? Because he didn't want to wait for the 30 days for me to turn around and pass the drug test. That was what was holding back. So I'm not going to give you all that, what he gave me, but it ended up working. So I ended up going into the Navy. So, yeah, blah, 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 Great Lakes boot camp. I heard multiple guys talk about, boot camp in Great Lakes. So I don't have to go back on that. But with the Navy, I mean, I learned so much. To this day, I miss it. I really do. I think I don't know if that's fantastic or one of you guys say it was. I had my ups and downs, but it was fun. At the end of the day, I think Nick was saying that too, but it was fun. I had gap rank. I made E4 within 7 months. When it was turned to becoming E5, that's when like they said, the political things started to take, parts of that. But still, I had a ball. But yeah, I ended up fighting the war. I did the Enduring Freedom War when they hit the towers in was that 2001? We all know the date, but yeah, I ended up fighting the war. They tried to switch it up. Because Bush, that's when I started becoming political myself, because I was never a political type of person. And seeing like, okay, how is we leaving from Afghanistan? We ain't caught the bad guy, but now here y'all taking us over here to try to get him over. You talking about some oil or some oil. Supposedly he had something to do with it, but it wasn't no proof of that. So, it was just like, like I said, I learned a lot, and still to this day, I'm very political. I really pay attention to, what goes on. Because back then, I didn't really give a F. I didn't care. I was the type of person you could consider me one of them just Democratic type. I just go out there and vote Democratic because everybody else was doing that. Ever since I got out the military, I never did that. Never did. Obama was like the last person, and after that, I was done. I always paid attention, towards where my vote, what my vote should matter. So, and like I said, I'm appreciative of the Navy, CVN 74, John C. Stennis, ADE. I worked on the flight deck. I saw some crazy things. I saw some crazy things. But I mean, to this day, it made me a better person. I'm a better man. I tell my stories to my sons. Actually, I plan on taking them hopefully soon, once all of this over, to see an actual flight deck for them to see what I actually did. Because a lot of people ask me, if your kids want to go to the military, would you allow them? And I say yes, definitely. It's not the same. I understand the rules are starting, it's getting a little softer, but still, yeah, I definitely think it's a great place to be able to, like somebody else was saying, you coming from a single parent home, you wasn't having a father in the house. That'd be, boot camp and all that'd be a start. So that's how I want to make it quick. I'm not trying to make it long. So, man, once again, man, I appreciate it, Brother X, man. It's a great, it was a great stream. I appreciate you having me on. So, yeah, part 2, I definitely, hopefully I will be on time. Hopefully, I usually on time, but
bring your ass
sorry,
in here on time next time. God damn it, I'll be coming up in here late. Anybody else? Any? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going. Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, you got it.
Hate to interject, T.P.O.T. I actually have to take off. Something just
Okay.
came.
Okay. Go ahead. Final shots. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, just really quickly. Nick Taylor had said medics would call 91 Bravos and Charlies. Well, they were when I first got in, and by the time I got out, they had changed us all over to 68 whiskey. So that's what we all are now.
Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, they are all medics now, 68 whiskeys. But yeah, really quickly, in closing, I just want to say, like, look, my military experience, good or bad, has certainly helped me to get to where I'm at now. And one of the brothers that was talking earlier about, it's like a little secret club when people find out you're a veteran, and all of a sudden people got jobs, or people want to talk to you, they want to put money in your pocket, or whatever the case may be. It's very true. That's generally been my experience throughout my adult life, is that whenever people find out I'm a veteran, they find out I have this particular background, yes, it always happens. And so, again, even folks who supported me in my academic career, even on to medical school, many of them were veterans themselves. They were physicians, they were nurses, they were scientists, they helped me, they mentored me. And so, that's been very beneficial. And so again, I would have probably never gotten that opportunity had I not made the choice to go into the military when I did. And ironically, I left undergrad to go into the military. So, everything comes full circle in many ways. And so again, thanks for having me, T.P.O.T. Sorry I came on so late. Maybe next time if I have time, I'll try to see if you do this again. Absolutely. I'll try to see if I can catch you earlier.
I will be hitting you up next time, Doc. I completely forgot that you're ex-military too. I tried to hit up everybody I possibly could, but trust me, you will be getting an email when we do another one, part 2. All right, my brother.
Hey, Doc, quick question.
I need you to come through for Ask the Doc too, Doc.
Yeah, please do. I
all right.
Speaking of which, I was actually going to remind you, because last time we spoke on your Keep the Doc series, I told you I'll let you know when I got my vaccine. I did get the vaccine. I got the Moderna vaccine. So
yeah, me too. I got my shot Monday, man. I went and got it done Monday.
I got mine a while back. So, but yeah,
me too.
But go ahead. I think somebody else had something.
Hey, no, I just had a question. Did you go to Sam or Bliss?
I went to Fort Sam Houston.
Okay, yeah, in San Antonio. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Fort Sam. I did my basic training at Fort Sill and drove like what 4 or 5 hours to get to Fort Sam. So yeah.
So still you was in my back. You was at my house then.
Yes, I was in the artillery. Yes, I did basic training in Fort Sill.
All right, brother. Peace.
Yeah, that was back when they was still all male. I don't think they.
Oh, well, it was all male with me. I went to OSA in 1983. So
yeah,
it was
I don't think they have it
definitely
like
all
that
male.
anymore. I think they got rid of binning too. But nonetheless, that's a discussion for another day. But thanks for having me, T.P.O.T. Pleasure, gentlemen. Everyone
Absolutely. Doc, I'm gonna hit you up, man. Peace.
All right, brother.
All right. Anybody else? Closing statements?
Yeah, hey, I just appreciate you having me, and I respect the heck out of all these brothers. But what you were saying about whether people, black people, something like he said, the older ones tend to have a little more respect for you than the young ones, because most of the young ones they don't even respect themselves, let alone. So I mean, but let's be realistic. You can't expect somebody to show you some respect when they don't even respect themselves. You ain't even got enough common goddamn sense to pull your fucking pants up. So I sure as hell don't expect you. I know a soft target when I see one. I don't expect you to have respect for me when you don't even have respect for yourself. But I think it's a good start for some people. It ain't for everybody, but if you got that, ain't nobody gonna tell me shit. Oh, they don't go in the military, especially don't go in don't go in there. Don't go in the Army, don't go in the Marine Corps. You ain't gonna make it. They're gonna DOR your ass right back to the block because ain't nobody got time for your shit. But after we punish your ass a little bit, because we get to F you up for 6 weeks before you make it to week 7, so we can put you on the DOR. But anyway, it's an all volunteer force. It's good. You can pick up stuff where to help you out here, radio repair, microwave, the transmit data, satellite, electronics, bruh, you name it. You name it, you can do it. But y'all be good. Be good, AJ. See you later. Keep it techie. And be peace.
Shout out.
Peace with y'all, bro.
Absolutely.
All
Peace,
right,
brother.
Nick, man. Good seeing you, Nick.
All right.
Peace.
Let me go. Let me get on out of here. Oh man, I appreciate this once again, man. It's like feeling like you're on an all-star team, man. Like BMT, it's like it's that cold. Like you just have so much respect for brothers, And shout out to you, brother X. I have a hell of a respect for you.
I felt like I was hanging out with the Avengers. That's what it felt like. Hanging out with the Avengers.
I love the stories with these brothers, man. Even myself, like I try to tell my story. It's not the same when you tell it to another veteran. It's like, it's just something about it. You just be like, I remember standing by the airplane and fire was just blowing past my head, and it was just like, whoa. And then the average person kind of like, so because they don't know, But this is why I love to, be around brothers like this. I love being around veterans. I work at a hospital, a veteran hospital. So yeah, I get it, but I really appreciate this. Like I said, this was a great stream. I came in late. My apologies, y'all. But if you do another one, I'm trying my best to get on here on time. But I just got to say this again, man. I appreciate all you brothers that serve. For real, salute to you, brother. I always do this. I'm serious about this, man. Y'all deserve everything. And hey, y'all keep pushing, man. And much love, man. And much love to you, brother X, man. And keep doing what you're doing, bro, because this is much needed, man. All right, everybody. Everybody else in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
All right. Brother AJ, my brother. Peace. Anybody else? Final words before we get out of here?
Yeah, I was just gonna and I'm gonna stick around, but I was just gonna say shout out to everybody that came through for this, military stream. Shout out to all y'all veterans. You know what I'm saying? I really, appreciate y'all service, you know what I'm saying? And like what BMT said earlier, it's kind of like a brotherhood. We always try to look out for each other, you know what I'm saying? If you want to join that, if you not doing something positive in your queue, if you feel that if you see that you're around some people that's probably gonna take you down the wrong road, or you probably not gonna see yourself in 5-10 years being successful in any kind of way, get out and do something, man. Join the military if you want to. And I ain't no recruiter. I ain't trying to talk people into doing this, because it ain't for everybody, like what was said on the stream multiple times. It ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna make it, or everybody can't make it. But you see that you can't, if you see if you're at the end of your ropes, you know what I'm saying, you need something to do to get you out of a situation, join the military, man. And it's plenty of opportunities out here. I always bring it up because of the IT aspect, you know, that ties to what I do. You know, I've been working at IT for 15 years. I did the military for, 14 years, in different, different areas or whatever, or different jobs. And that's why I was going to bring up um, the whole reserves portion of it, because you in the military, but you also a civilian, because you constantly have to, find a job and work and get out there and do your thing, and get into the civilian side of work, as well as do the 1 weekend a month, as well as the 2 weeks over the summer and all that stuff. So you still have to understand military bearing, all that stuff or whatever, but it's a way to actually get out there in the industry as well, by using some of the perks. And I'm a veteran, or I got a security clearance. You can use that to get certain jobs and put you in certain situations, on the civilian side as well. So that's all I wanted to say. Appreciate you doing this stream, T.P.O.T. Is very
Absolutely.
important to
Don't
be
go
put out.
anywhere, brother
Oh yeah, I'm not
KIT.
going
Don't
nowhere.
go anywhere. We
I'm
firing
not.
right back up in about 10 minutes. Don't go
I got
nowhere,
you.
brother.
I got you. And that's it.
My brother.
All
Appreciate
right.
you, brother. My brother, Perfect Black.
Hey, what's up, man? Look,
Parting shots.
yeah, man. I'm not gonna be long because I know you got to get to the other one, man. I'm just sitting there holding my baby girl here, and
And
look,
congratulations, man, on the new little one, man.
oh yeah,
Congratulations,
man.
my brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Congrats.
Man, look, I have a real soft spot for veterans, and even if I disagree with you on politically, I'm not gonna really, I think DMT did the same thing. We're not gonna be arguing online and all that stuff. We're not gonna be doing that. But look, the military is good, especially if you are a black man and all that. It's good to get a lot of experience and all of that. But look, my heart for veterans has always been soft, because when it comes to black veterans, to answer your question, brother X, uh, there isn't a lot of I don't want to say it's not a lot of respect. It's one of those things that, and people don't really, in Black America, we've got so many black people who have served in the military in Black America. It's like one of those things we don't really look at anything as anything as extra respect. At least that hasn't been my experience. So, but look, I know you got to get to the other one. I'm going to go to knock up, but I am going to be sticking around because I do want to hear this next one. So I'm going to be around, brother.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna fire up probably in about another 10 minutes or so. I appreciate you, Perfect Black. And like I said, brother KIT, make sure you stick around. Don't go nowhere, my brother. Folks, yeah, we already over. We about goddamn 50 minutes over for our next show, because y'all know we got a big debate coming up. We're supposed to do it at 10:30. Hopefully the brothers stuck around. They didn't have anything extra to do within this extra half an hour. But next up, soon as we get on up out of here, brother Fantastic will be squaring off with brother TVA, and they will be throwing down over this Derek Chauvin case, man. So stick around, man. Stick around. It should be good, my brothers. But I just want to say this, man. Like I told everybody tonight, I come from a military family myself. A lot of people in my family. I actually have a person in the military right now that I'm related to, one of my nephews. Two of my uncles, they retired from the military. My two oldest brothers were in the military. I have two nephews, one which retired in the military as well. I come from military folks. It wasn't the right thing for me, but I look back on it now. I wish I had joined the military. And I'll just say this, man. I mean, you got a bunch of young brothers walking around doing jack diddly squat with their freaking lives anyway, except down in grandma's basement playing freaking Call of Duty. God damn it, won't you go play Call of Duty for real and join the military? Why don't you? You ain't doing shit anyway. You ain't doing nothing anyway. You know, and don't let people convince you. And if you're a person who wants to join the military, man, don't let those people, man, standing on the fucking corner freaking preaching, you know, these 35-year-old motherfuckers who still live with their mama preaching to you about how you shouldn't join the military. Those are the last people you should be listening to, my brother. Those are the last people to be listening to. If you want to do something, if you want to learn a trade, and if you inside, you know, you inside the girth of freaking dysfunction, who knows, man? The military may be a way out for you. And one thing I can say about all the military brothers that I know in real life, and from the military brothers that I hear about on here, none of them are broke. None of them are homeless. And none of them are unemployed either. So that's something to think about, all right? All right, so we're going to wrap this up. What we're going to do, we're going to stop this. Then we're going to start another one in about 5 or 10 minutes. So hold on to your horses. Just jump over to the next stream. It's already up. We're going to be throwing down. I will see y'all in about 10 minutes, all right? A special shout out to everybody, man. Jay Shine, Brother Nick Taylor, Brother Perfect Black, Brother BMT, Brother New, Brother Fantastic, Doc Phoenix, and my brother AJ. And also a shout out to the T.P.O.T timekeeper, Brother KIT. Y'all will see him in a few minutes as well. So get up, stretch your legs, go get a drink of water, go take a couple puffs of your Hibito, which is what I'm going to do. And come right back here, because we're right back at it, y'all, in about 10 minutes. All right? All right. I appreciate all the cash apps and the super chats. Don't go anywhere, Negroes. We will return. You understand? Good. So, with that, I will leave you, good folks, with 3 words you know, like I always do. Bring your asses back here in 10 minutes. Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion. 3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Huh? Why do you think you never pick up a paper until you read over and over and see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, And the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro. And we said, look, we saying if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Factory Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Copy. Santa Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.